And Raul Resendez, Director.
Present.
And we have quorum.
All right. If you can certify public notice as well, Lupton.
Yes. Notice was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act on December 11th at 1:25 p.m.
Excellent. Moving on to the next agenda item, public comments. Do we have anybody who called in or scheduled to be, speak?
We have not received a request for public comment.
Anybody who's currently on the call would like to make any public comments? Nope. All right. I will close public comments. Moving on to regular agenda items. Consider approval of the board meeting minutes from November 24th. Everybody's had a chance to review them. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Consider approval of the financial reports for November 2020. Chris, did you want to go over those?
Sure. Hello, everyone. What we got in front of us is the management report for the period ended November 30, 2020. This is the second month in the fiscal year 2021, which ends September 30, 2021. We've got the statement of cash receipts, disbursements, and cash balances. Oh, excuse me real quick. I just lost mine. There we go. Okay. All right. So we got the statement of cash receipts and cash balances, and then we're going to talk about the balance sheet and the accounts receivable. So what we have, a little bit different than last month, but what we've done in the prior year is that we're going to break it down month by month, so you have a bird's eye view of what we're collecting each month and what we're spending each month. And if you can see any trends, whatever, then you can ask some questions. These are your financial statements, so if there's anything that you want to add or delete or remove, be my guest, and we can talk about that. Again, these are your financial statements. So for the month of November, we collected in total $1,187,510. The large part of that is going to be the half-cent sales tax revenue. We collected $1,178,534. Through our learning of this, is that $1 million is going to be I believe August and September's sales tax revenue. So what is still due to us is going to be October and November. And so again, we're in December. Just an FYI, a little bit tidbit there. Again, we're still in the light months of spending. We can scroll down a little bit. We spent $1,487 in contractual maintenance services. Then we spent $1,678 in programs, which is going to be like marketing and sponsorships. Properties, which is going to be utilities and maintenance, we spent $4,145. Then on the next page, let's see here. Can we scroll down to the next page? Yes, thank you. Again, nothing there on the next page. So in total, we had a total cash disbursements, $7,310. We had a net increase in unrestricted cash of $1,180,000. So our ending cash balance, this is our operating account. This is unrestricted cash, $6,420,274. Okay. Down below is supplementary information. It's just a breakdown of our cash, and we're just kind of showing our unrestricted cash, our bank accounts, and then our restricted cash, and then our interest-bearing accounts. As you can see, we have a sweep account, which is basically, it just sweeps out money from the operating account, so that way our operating account just maintains a level of $1 million in total. So you see $2 million there. It's just a timing difference. It's on the last day of the month, we basically collected the $1 million from the city of Edinburg for the half-cent sales tax, and it got swept out on December 1st. But anyway, I also want to show you that our annual yield rate in the sweep account is a microscopic, a half of a percent. I want to say, and then we had a higher rate last year, and I think after COVID or when COVID began, that rate just declined dramatically. And then our interest-bearing accounts, the Greater State Bank, we have about a 0.5% over there, 0.65% interest rate. The Techstar, we have a 1.13% annual yield rate there. Again, those rates have been kind of declining as we go along. Any questions about our statement of cash receipts and disbursements? Okay.
I have a quick question. You mentioned the sweep. Where does it get swept to?
Well, we have two unrestricted accounts. We have the operating account and the sweep account. The operating account has an automatic correlation. It's at Plains Capital.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an operating account and we have a sweep account. That operating account has to maintain a level of $1 million on a daily basis. So if we spend money, okay, let's say we spend $200,000 for whatever, on the next day, $200,000 will be automatically transferred from the sweep account to the operating account. So that way that operating account has $1 million.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. The next page is going to be our balance sheet, statement of assets, statement of net assets. Down below, you'll see total bank accounts, $19 million. We have accounts receivable, 1.7. Of course, a large part of that 1.7 is going to be Santana, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But overall, we have $41 million in assets. And we also, we have about $13 million in that Santana. We have an allowance for that of $1.1 million. But overall, we have a total assets of $41 million. Next page is going to be the liabilities. We have $27 million, $27.8 million in total liabilities. So we have a net fund balance or net equity of $13 million. Okay. Any questions about our balance sheet? This is a snapshot of November 30. Okay. The next page is going to be our accounts receivable of who owes us. It's just going to be you're going to see this from time to time. We have, what we probably should add on here as well is a receivable from the city of Edinburg for the 0.5-cent sales tax for October, November. And that's something I want to talk about that later. Something that we should probably do and going month to month. So that way you know that there's still a 0.5-cent sales tax that's still owed to us. Okay. There's that Santana Textiles. We're still kind of sending them invoices for interest. It's just something that, because it still exists. Even though they're not paying us, we don't want to kind of quit sending them invoices for the interest that they owe us and the late fees.
Chris, one question on
Sure.
adding the 0.5 cent. How far back does it trail? Like, is it 30 days behind, 60 days behind?
Typically, as a small business, that every small business pays the sales tax on the 20th of the following month, right?
Yeah.
Well, the state, I presume, I don't have the actual, we can assume that the state also gives us the 0.5 cent, well, it gives the city of Edinburg the 0.5 cent, the sales tax on the 20th of the following month as well. So it's conceivable that our portion is still at the city of Edinburg, but we have to kind of investigate and verify that. So we'll do some homework on that and find out about the timing of that. And we'll get you some answers on that next time.
Okay. So, but usually they pay the last day of the month?
On the 20th.
20th.
I believe.
So we can assume that that's, 60 days behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, those are our financials. That's our management report for November. Again, it's kind of light. I'm sure activity will start picking up, especially with our bond projects. Any other questions?
One thing, if we could do maybe starting next month, we can do kind of a year over year, like the same scenario, like where we're at, so we can see kind of our history.
Can I put that on a supplemental report?
Yeah.
That way it'll okay.
Yeah, like a snapshot kind of thing.
Sure.
Look, this is where we're at last year.
The only issue I have with that is that our chart of accounts, our budget. Remember, we changed everything from last year, so it's going to be skewed. Maybe we can give you revenues and total expenses, and maybe kind of break it down with like operating expenses and bond projects, and then maybe bond payments. Just kind of consolidate it a little bit.
That'll work. Yeah, because we don't need all the line items, but at least those that haven't,
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any more questions for Chris? Comments? I appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you, sir. All right. Good night.
Good night, sir. I will entertain a motion to approve the financials for November 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. Right. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to agenda item C. Consider the approval of the agreement for Chris Villarreal, CPA, for his accounting services. Blanca, did you want to go over this?
Yes, just real quick, on the November 24th EDC meeting, President Heron recommended the EDC to continue the professional services agreement with Chris Villarreal, who's the CPA. He has been the CPA or the accountant for the EDC for about 2 years now, and he has been helpful in the transition to the city and into the finance department. So staff recommends approval of the professional services agreement.
Yeah, I think my main concern was, we had so many moving parts, the financials needed to be, kept up quicker, and, Dago has a million things going, I'm sure. This will be one thing off at this point. So, does anybody have any, issues or concerns with that?
Blanca, this is budgeted for, correct?
What was that?
This is budgeted for, correct?
Yes, this is budgeted for in our fiscal year 21 budget. And just to add, Dago will be working with us closely as well, so we can ensure that the transition still happens. But Mr. Villarreal had historical knowledge from our bank accounts, bond information, expenses that have happened previously within the past 2 years. So we just want to ensure we carry that over into this new phase of the EDC.
Perfect. And it gives Dago a whole year to figure, get everything merged over. Sounds good. Anybody have any more comments? Nope. All right. I'll entertain a motion for approval of Chris Villarreal's CPA accounting services agreement.
Make a motion to approve the agreement for Chris Villarreal.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to agenda item D, discuss possible action of the EDC incentive application.
Yes, just a quick reminder, the draft incentive application was reviewed by Mr. Kelsey, Assistant City Manager, in our last board meeting. And we received a couple of feedback from different directors, Mr. Raul Resendez and Ms. Sabrina Walker Hernandez. One of the main changes that happened was the number of jobs that were created or retained. We moved that down from 20 to 15 jobs. And another recommendation that was included is the small business grant. So we're working on that, and hopefully we can present that in the January board meeting, but we're working with legal to see how we can fund the small business grant, ensure that that gets funded in some shape or form.
Y'all did a really nice job on this, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very thorough and it's very transparent, which is good as well.
I like it, and we have to start somewhere. And I think this is a really good start, and see how it goes from there, in my opinion. And we can always, adjust it accordingly and see how things turn out. We can adjust this monthly if we need to. Okay, great.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying to do that, but I'm
yeah, we can. And just remember that this will also have to go to City Council. And so, I'd recommend, maybe we, we look at this for, for about 6 months, maybe the next 6 months, or maybe up until our midpoint report is due to council for the EDC. See how this works, and then, we can make the tweaks.
I think that's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any more comments, questions, comments, or concerns?
I was just going to add to that to say that we'll make sure at the City Council report of this item that we communicate that it's an organic, fluid document. So we do anticipate changes over the, life of the year. So just to kind of set that stage.
Yeah. I think it's a great beginning. All right. Anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns? Nope. All right. I'll entertain a motion on agenda item D for the economic development incentive application.
So move.
Motion to approve, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye, or please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It is 4:21 p.m. We are entering executive session. And we're back. I will entertain a motion to re-enter open session.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It's 5:35 p.m. We're re-entering open session. I'd like to entertain a motion for a notice to proceed with development of Promenade Park project with a cost share with the City of Edinburg.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. I believe, Blanca, you had something you would like to discuss on other business?
Yes, well, the meeting in person, we discussed the next meeting is going to be via Zoom, just to confirm that. And I just wanted to provide an update on the tickets for the season tickets for the UTRGV athletics. We went ahead and let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. Do you see that? So we just did alphabetical order. You were supposed to click on the dates that you desired, so we just went ahead and did alphabetical order. So we'll be delivering these tickets to you all tomorrow. So they start in 2 days, December 18th on Friday. So we want to make sure we get that to you guys on time so you can participate and support our UTRGV basketball teams. But that's all I had. I don't know if Brian, you had anything else on that.
Yeah, I've got two things. Not on this. I've got two other things.
1 second, Brian. On the tickets, the December 18th and 19th is on South Padre Island, just so y'all know. It's a tournament at I believe the Civic Center
Yes.
on South Padre.
And Blanca, I have season tickets, so if anybody wants to take mine so that people can take more people or take a guest, they're welcome to do that.
Mine as well.
Okay.
Okay, I've got two last updates. One, we have started our employer interviews for the Business Retention and Expansion Program. We completed two interviews, right, Blanca? And then we've got one more tomorrow. I think, we've already learned some things through this process. And so, I think we're off to a good start. Blanca's team's done a good job creating a questionnaire to interview the employers with. And so that program's off to a good start. How many interviews are we targeting for this first round, Blanca?
That we've reached out?
Yeah, roughly how many interviews are we planning for kind of this first phase of this?
Well, I mean, we've reached out to about 50 employers, and we're doing follow-up calls. It's the holidays, and, we're calling and contacting them, but only 3 have reached back so far, so we're still reaching out to them.
Okay. So we'll keep you posted on that activity. And the last thing is we have submitted a proposal. We got a request for information from the governor's office. There's a European company looking for a fairly large 30-plus acre manufacturing site. It is a project that would involve a few thousand employees and north of $700 million in capital investment. It's a global site selection process. So they have some specific criteria that we happen to meet here. So we submitted the proposal on Monday, and we will keep you posted if we hear any news. And that's all I have.
That is awesome. I hope we get that. Be great get for Edinburg, for South Texas as well. Was there anything else we needed to discuss, or anybody else would like to bring up anything else? No?
Oh, if you haven't been to the Holiday in the Park yet, go by there over at Municipal Park. It's really nice, and it's quick, and you don't have to get out of your vehicle, but they also have a really nice big Santa Claus that you can take photos with and your kids. So if you get a chance to go by there, please do.
And as far as I know, that it's actually an antique Santa Claus from like the 50s, I believe. It's pretty cool. It's actually really nice. I got to go out there on the opening day on Saturday. It was excellent. And the lines are much shorter than they were on Saturdays. It's not 3,000 people long, which is good. All right. Anybody else? No. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Please raise your right hand. Any opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. If I don't get to see or speak to any of y'all before Christmas and New Year's, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everybody. I feel like we've had a real great start to this year. Or we have a better start to next year, I mean, than to 2020.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.